What's going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde here from Blue and Gold with this week's final thoughts, observations, and our score predictions for Notre Dame USC 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff in the Coliseum. You can find the game on ABC. We're going to go through Tim's 3 keys to the game quickly. But first, please do hit the thumbs up on this video if you like what you see, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, of course, for more Fighting Irish football and recruiting content. Key number 1 to the game is just don't let Caleb Williams just dominate the game, right, Tim?
Oh, yes, exactly right there. Don't let him win the Heisman. I hate to bring up old memories, but Carson Palmer did that in 2002, and Matt Leinart did that in 2004. They went into that last game, Notre Dame in the Coliseum, and both those quarterbacks just lit up Notre Dame's defenses, and that's what propelled them to help win that Heisman. And Caleb Williams is the number 1 Heisman guy in every poll this week. So Notre Dame, don't let him win it, meaning don't let him throw for 440, 5 touchdowns, scramble for 85 yards. He is, in my opinion, I think he's the best quarterback in the country. People argue. I think he's better than Stroud. I think he's better than May. I think he's better than all those guys. I've watched a handful of their games this year. Stats don't lie for everyone. Just click Caleb Williams stats. He's top 5, 2, 3, whatever in every category, and he is electric. He's the real deal. But at the same time, he hasn't faced Notre Dame, as we'll get talk about that. Notre Dame is in the top 20 in the country in passing yards, completion percentage. They've improved on third down D. Their yards per attempt, they're in the top upper echelon in the country, which Caleb Williams has only faced one defense in these rankings, and that's Oregon State, which happened to be his worst game of the year, completing 44%. So I think the Notre Dame defense is going to be physical. They're going to be ready for this challenge, and don't let him do what so many quarterbacks have done in the past.
A couple quick thoughts here from me. I think Caleb Williams being the Heisman front runner right now is more by default. Like who else is there? And then also you've talked a ton about Notre Dame always holding their opponents to less than their average score total. If this is the website I'm looking at is correct, they're averaging 42 points per game. So it shouldn't be too difficult for Notre Dame. At least you would hope to keep USC from under 40 points. They're going to have to if they have a chance to win. But still, that just kind of goes to show this Trojans offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Key number 2, Mr. Hyde. We can talk about Mario Williams and Jordan Addison and Caleb Williams, all these playmakers for USC, but the game is won in the trenches,
without a doubt. And both of these offensive lines, and I think it's going to be, as I say right there, the best unit. Pro Football Focus, PFF has USC as the number 1 offensive line in the whole entire country after 11 games. They have 2 of their players, their center and left guard. Left guard is going to be a first-team All-American this year. Both of them are ranked in the top 5 for their position. They're in the top 15 in yards per carry this year, higher than Notre Dame. And as for much as Notre Dame ground and pound attack, Notre Dame's only got 100 more rushing yards than USC as a team this year. So very even on both of these accounts. Now, when it comes to obviously Notre Dame, they have the number 1 offensive lineman in the country, according to PFF, and Joe Alt. Jared Patterson has yet to give up a sack in his 4 years as a starter. Blake Fisher was the number 1 player for Notre Dame last week against Boston College, and obviously he's going to be a freshman All-American this year as a redshirt freshman. So both these units are outstanding. The one thing in digging into the stats is obviously who are they going against. USC was number 1 for the first half of the season in sacks. Notre Dame has passed them now in total sacks for the season on defense. So USC has a great defensive end, number 49, I believe. He's a stud. He's up for tons of awards, the Lombardi, the lot. He'll probably be the Pac-12 Defense Player of the Year, outstanding football player. Who's the best offensive line? That's what it's going to come down to. And the key stat is, Mike, I talk about all the time, is 40 rushes. Notre Dame has gotten to 40 rushes in the Brigham Young, the UNC, the Syracuse, the Clemson game, and they won those. The only game they didn't get to 40, meaning a ranked team, a big game, is Ohio State. They only had 30 carries in that game, and they lost. So if they hit that 40 rushes, the last time ND has lost to a ranked team when they've hit that number was 2017 Stanford. So Notre Dame gets to 40 rushes. They control the clock. keep Caleb Williams off the off the field, and that's going to be a big thing. But USC's offensive line is very, very, very good.
I'm going to get back to the content in this video after a quick word from our sponsors over at Rogue Shop, which is a husband and wife outfit, as Mr. Rogue and his wife Shar are craft cannabis farmers who specialize in small batch sustainable plant medicine, a true holistic type of small business. They farm and grow all of their product themselves and do everything by hand. Their website to visit, as you can see on the screen here, is rogueshop.com. There are products that will give you euphoria, but there is so much more products that have been known to help from anything from stress to anxiety, chronic pain, insomnia. If you have a question about what a product does, you can jump on rogueshop.com and the owners will help you and steer you in the right direction. Folks, their goal is holistic healing, making your life better if you suffer from stress, insomnia, reducing inflammation, anxiety, mood disorders, and they have topicals that are great for pain in specific areas. Folks, if you use promo code blue and gold, that will get you 10% off your order. Head to rogueshop.com, use that promo code blue and gold, and get 10% off your order. All right, Tim, moving into key number 3. Notre Dame special teams have been so good this year. For Notre Dame to beat this USC team, they're going to need to be really good in all 3 areas of the game. You can't forget special teams.
Yes, and that's going back to Coach Mason, the unbelievable impact he's made at Notre Dame and everything. John Sott's up for the Ray Guy Award, the blocked punts, the historical year they've had. And then, I started, obviously I've seen a lot of SC games over my years, but 2 great games that had blocked punts. The green jersey game in 77, people forget block punt in there, and SC was ranked number 5 in that game. So that led to that big one. And then one of those hidden gems was 1986, during Lou Holtz's first year when they blocked a punt to get that fourth quarter rally where Notre Dame was down, 3 scores and came back to win that game in the Coliseum in 86. So Coach Mason's done an unbelievable job. And even if he doesn't block one, it's the impact where SC knows they are coming. They're running twist. They're overloading to a side. So their punter is going to have to get the ball off really quick, which is going to shorten the field, possibly set up a nice return, especially if Brandon Joseph is back in this game, as he's ranked in the top 20 in punt returns this year. So that's why I say the X factor is just Coach Mason. Whether it's a punt or not, he's going to impact it by making USC put in the extra work this week.
All right, let's go over to OddsShark and take a look at what the Vegas numbers are saying about this game. The line opened up right around 6 points, and it's currently at about 5.5, depending on the website that you look at. And OddsShark's prediction have USC 38, and we'll round that up to 37. So predicting a high-scoring, tight game, the over-under for the game at 64.5. So, Tim, I don't have a score prediction yet as we record this. I'm going to have to look and see what I wrote in our magazine from the week before. So, Tim, as I do that, you can go ahead and give your score prediction. Because, yes, we always give our prediction for the game a week before. That's just for our print magazine. So I'm going to go with whatever I wrote there, Tim, but I'll let you go first.
Sounds good. You know what? I look at this as, obviously, you got 2 ranked teams. Quick little thing real quick is, during the Holtz years, he played a ton of USC ranked games. This, Mike, and all the Notre Dame people out there, this is only going to be the 6th time since Holtz left, since 1997, both teams are ranked in this game, which is a fascinating number to look at. And SC obviously is 4-1 right now in those ranked games. Notre Dame won the last one in 17. But you know what? In thinking about a prediction, I went back to my original Ohio State game. I felt the senior leadership, those guys were going to rally in that game. Obviously, they played their tails off. They came up a little bit short. But these seniors have rallied under Marcus Freeman and this program this year, obviously, by getting to 8 wins, bouncing back the way they have. They did not quit when they're 0-2, 3-3. They've really rebounded, which is a testament to Coach Freeman and what these older guys have done. I'm picking Notre Dame to go in and upset. I went back and forth on this a bunch, but I just think defensively, SC hasn't seen a team like this. The length, the athleticism, the size. SC's really fast and athletic in the front 7 on defense. But, the best teams they've played are Utah and UCLA running the ball. but they don't run the schemes Notre Dame does. Notre Dame is physical, way more double teams than they've seen it all in the Pac-12. And I'm going to go Notre Dame 34-30, win in the Coliseum. And by the way, the last time they beat a ranked team in the Coliseum, 1988. So a little nostalgia there for that classic 1-2 ball game.
Interesting side note on this game, Tim. Notre Dame hasn't played at USC since what, 2018?
Yes.
So
a while.
Like most of these guys have never even been in that stadium. So I think that's kind of a side note. Here is what I wrote. This was my brilliant analysis. And again, this is what we wrote before the Boston College game, predicting the USC game. This is what I wrote. Notre Dame's 2022 season has not made a whole lot of sense. They won games they were supposed to lose and vice versa. I'll take the Irish to pull off the upset. So I'm going Notre Dame 28, USC 27. So yeah, hasn't made much sense.
No.
But Notre Dame's really hit its stride. And to go up against Caleb Williams in that passing attack, Notre Dame's secondary is going to need to be outstanding. And for the most part, Tim, it really has, maybe outside the UNC game, which they had a couple of lapses. The Notre Dame secondary has been so much improved from the past couple of seasons. So that is our prediction video here, folks. Please do hit the thumbs up. That would just help support our Blue and Gold YouTube channel. Subscribe to our channel for more content and go over to blueandgold.com for all of your pre-game reading. Appreciate you, folks, and we'll catch you next time.